Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ducknuck84, and we're going to try to record this episode for the second time. I actually tried recording it for the first time, and then I got interrupted by a phone call, and I had to exit out of the game. So let's see if we can get through a recording without getting a distracting phone call. If you remember, in the last video, we got some information on the city. Turned out I don't really like Metro Mine. Seems a little devious. And we got a Half-Life crowbar to get down in the sewers here. And I'm going to be redoing some parts, so some of this isn't going to be new to me. Luckily, I didn't get too far into here. And luckily, I now know what to need to do, so this part will go a little bit faster. So what you gotta do is you get the decryption module, and we're going to put it on Crispin here if he ever gets over here. Come on, there we are. There.
Crispin, I'm going to latch this onto you. Try using it on the keypad over there.
Yeah, because there's a keypad over there. If you send him over there without the keypad, I mean, you could maybe randomly guess the numbers, but this is a little easier. And the only other thing is there's a
success
thing up on the crane which you can't see from this distance.
Let's go. There's something up there on the crane.
Yeah, just what I said. And the crane itself.
Crane.
And back in the pit there wasn't anything, there was just some vehicles that were broken and already looted.
Are these heads?
Yes, they are.
Did you hear something? Boss, do you see those things?
They are robot zombies after our brains. Or circuitry. Or parts.
3, 1.
And 2 of them are dead. Pew! Boom. Headshot. Poor robot Horatio. I knew him well. Well, not very well.
I am Clarity Arbiter built.
Hello, Clarity.
Version 2, Law Clerk to Arbiter, Judge of Metropole. This is my home. Now, if you will excuse me a moment.
And she is the law. Yeah, so this was the person that we talked to the other robot about. I can't remember his name at the moment. And he mentioned that she went down here.
That's barbaric.
Civilization is defined by law, and this is lawful. As enemies of the city, they forfeited their components. I have merely exercised my right of plunder.
That sounds familiar.
Whether it's legal or not, it's grotesque.
But it does probably serve as a good warning.
You have a strange way of saying thank you.
Thank you. I'm Horatio No-Build, version 5.
And I'm Crispin Horatio built, version 1.
Welcome, Horatio. Crispin, what brings you to the Underworks?
What were those
What
things?
were those things?
They are shells. Robots who traded their processors and memory to Metromind in exchange for energy and repairs. Now mindless, they still scavenge parts to trade with her.
Those were the last of them, right?
So
Hardly.
there's zombies
Metromind now has more
or
efficient ways to accumulate
addicts,
processor
maybe?
power, but she left hundreds of shells in the Underworks.
Is there any way to save them?
That question is irrelevant. They lived profligate lives, and when they had squandered their resources, chose to become thieves and destroyers. Punishment, not clemency, is what justice requires.
You know, that's kind of an interesting concept, the whole thing of maybe of robots being addicts, you know, to power and stuff like that. That's actually kind of interesting. So, you were a law clerk. Is that anything like a judge? Or a street
You
judge?
said you were a law clerk. What does that mean?
My sister Charity and I were built to advise Arbiter Manbuilt, who administers Metropole's court. Charity sees everything through the lens of mercy. For me, the law is clear, a matter of ones and zeros, unclouded by preference or sentiment.
Law without mercy, huh? How does that even work?
perfectly. It is the opposite approach that fails. Mercy is
Actually, I would
malware.
probably
Once infected
disagree with
it,
you.
Justice becomes slow and unpredictable.
I would say you
In
maybe
time,
have to
the
balance
system itself must
each.
be discarded. Only my vigilance protected Arbiter from this taint, but he has been without me for a long time.
What's the old saying? I mean, law tempered with mercy, maybe? Otherwise, it's too black and white.
Why are you taking their heads?
I am giving fair warning.
To other shells?
No, they lack the capacity for fear. The heads are for a robot named Scraper Sternweiler.
That guy.
You really think a bunch of rusty
I have some
boxes
beef
will
with him,
scare
too.
him off?
No, I do not want to scare him. I want to warn him. When he ignores that warning, I can destroy him lawfully and without guilt.
Boss, she's kind of exciting my electrons.
Keep it down. I'd like to
report a theft. My power core was stolen by a big robot.
Big claws, shoots lasers, talks like this.
He came aboard the crashed ship I was living in, attacked me, and stole the core.
Took it.
Excuse me?
Whether the taking was a theft is a legal determination. Please do not characterize the evidence.
It was my power core. He shot me, and he stole it.
I know the robot you describe. His name is Scraper Sternweiler.
Yes, we've established
and he is
this.
a servant of Metromind Manbuilt,
And he's
a
kind
member
of a
the council
douche.
that governs this city. I have no fondness for Metromind, but I must be impartial in considering your claim. Tell me, did Scraper say anything before he took your power core?
Before he stole my power core, he said something like, enemy, forfeit, plunder.
I see.
What, are those words override commands to turn off law and order?
They are legal concepts, Horatio. If Scraper's characterization is correct, then he did not steal your power core. He took lawful possession of it.
He shot me, and he stole it.
Calm down,
Because
boss.
probably the law does not go out
This
to the
occurred
dunes.
inside the city.
No, in the dunes.
I see. In a crashed airship.
Yep.
Yes, I said that already.
I appreciate your report, Horatio Nullbuilt. You have presented a credible claim that Scraper Sternweiler built, no doubt acting at Metromind's direction, took your power core. Beyond that, however, there is not even probable cause to arrest, let alone evidence to convict Scraper. First, the dunes are outside the ordinary jurisdiction of metropolitan law. Second, a
Told
crashed
ya.
ship in the dunes is likely a relic of the War of the Four Cities. If so, your ship was forfeit enemy property, legally subject to plunder by the Council. Scraper, acting as an agent of a council member, would be within his rights to seize it. Nevertheless, I would advise you to bring your case before Arbiter for further examination.
Oh, I'll do that as soon as I can find him.
Did you say Arbiter man-built? As in, built by man himself?
Yes.
Does man still walk here? In Metropole?
Probably not.
No.
But man was here in the past.
What I know is entirely hearsay. I was built after the Urbanians murdered them during the war.
Impossible.
That is what Arbiter told me, and it was told to him by Metromind. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Yeah,
The public
I don't
records regarding humans were
believe
deleted by
Metromind.
council decree.
Did Arbiter tell you anything else about man?
Only that he missed their legal arguments. Quite amusing, if often illogical.
Legal arguments.
Yes, to play a symbolic role in their justice system, humans argued cases before Arbiter.
Symbolic. Play a role. Man is the all-builder, our lord and master.
It is possible that the man you worship is not the humans in my records. All I know is hearsay. Do not rush to judgment.
Well, that sheds a little more light on it.
How can I see Arbiter?
Anyone can petition him. Cases are considered in the order they are brought to court. But
What?
I met a scavenger who told me that the courthouse was sealed and that Arbiter was no longer hearing cases.
Yeah, I heard kind of the same
That cannot
thing.
be true. The Metropolitan Constitution requires him to resolve all cases and controversies. He would not fail in that duty.
Sounds like he already has.
Nonsense. Not even charity could persuade him to abandon his obligations. Still, I did not detect any falsehood, evasion, or omission in the scavenger's statement. So perhaps the courthouse has been locked for some other reason.
I'm going to
If
say
so, it may
Metromind.
be that Arbiter is trying to contact me, but cannot. Maybe he is already calling me home. Horatio, I have a request of you. You are under no obligation to perform it, and I will be under no obligation to you, even if you do. Do you understand?
I don't even know what you're asking me to do.
Talk to Arbiter.
Yeah, I was going to.
Ask him if I can return. Tell him that I await his summons.
That's it? Believe me, we've had to do a lot worse than that. Like this one time we chased this crazy partial named Gamma.
Of course we'll help. But how do we even get into the courthouse?
This will get you inside.
Thanks.
I must thank you, Horatio.
Clarity, you saved our lives. Compared to that, running an errand is nothing.
The law obligated me to save you, Horatio. I would
And for a
have done the
robot,
same
you're
for
not bad
Metromind,
looking.
But I am glad it was you that I saved. I wish you justice.
Let me talk to Clarity.
Why aren't you with Arbiter?
Arbiter sent me away. I don't know why. The evidence suggests he viewed my sister Charity's advice as superior.
What do you mean?
When Metromind began taking over the council, Charity and I disagreed as to how Arbiter should respond. I informed Arbiter that the Metropolitan Constitution permitted him to dissolve the council and govern by decree. Charity felt that this would inevitably lead to civil war and suffering. As ever, she preached moderation. We argued. Arbiter told me to leave. This was the only place I could go.
Why? There's an entire city up there.
Every building in Metropole is owned by either the council or a private citizen. If I went to the council, it would embarrass Arbiter. If I went to a private citizen, my impartiality would be questioned when I returned to the court one day. Here, I owe nothing to anyone.
But you have to fight
Logical.
all crazy robots all the time.
Actually,
If
I
a
enjoy
little
that. It's a pleasant break from legal research. and
Strange. Okay, so we met.
Goodbye.
writing. Watch yourself, Horatio Nullbuilt. There are many dangers in this city.
Yes, there are. We met Clarity. Anything else I can do here? Did she give me anything?
It's an encoded keycard.
Okay. Well, that was an interesting talk.
It's been completely stripped of any useful parts.
Anything else down here? So, looks like we might be able to get into... Actually, how do I get out here first? Into the, No, I can go here. Cars, crane, street, station tower. Okay. So it makes me wonder, was Goliath one of the Urbanes? Or was Metropole City the Urbanes? And now it's robots. I don't know. Interesting, though.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
This is a very interesting story so far, and I really am enjoying this setting. Now can I use this here? Well, that would make sense if it was... If the thing could crack Urbane settings, and the settings was in this. So yeah, so this must have been where the Urbanes were.
I doubt that will have any effect.
Tracks.
It's far too high to...
How do I get to the... Okay, so tracks up there.
It's far too high to try climbing.
What about Horatio? Not Horatio, I mean Crispin here.
Not gonna happen, boss.
Hello, little robot.
She's robots away.
Okay.
It's an encoded keycard.
I wonder, is this the courthouse then? Can I use it on the door here?
I doubt that will have any effect.
No.
Anyone home?
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
Big robot.
Would it not have been better to have destroyed ourselves gloriously in battle, rather than perpetuate this false existence?
What do you...
Yes. The answer is yes.
Boss, I think someone left the smart off that smart bomb. I wouldn't expect much conversation out
Fine,
of him.
fine. Put me down for another megacycle.
Little robot. Don't zzz at me. Bleep, bloop, bleep. Okay, main station here. Can I go anywhere? else? What's the view here?
Boss, is that really Metropole out there?
It must be.
But it's so brown.
I'd say it's more red than brown.
Whatever it is, it brings new meaning to rust and ruin.
Anything else? What's this here?
Not gonna happen, Lampy. It looks like a lighthouse, only without the house, or the cool stripes, or the coastline, or any boats. I guess it just looks like a light.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes, you are, Crispin. Okay, so how do I get to the courthouse then? Still don't think I can fix the power cord thing here.
Can't you do something about that cable?
According to my work order, I gotta finish salvaging this bus first.
That's ridiculous.
Not my decision.
Not with that cable in the way.
You can just float over there.
Not with that cable in the way.
Crispin, can you fly around the cable and push it off the street?
But didn't you just say it's too dangerous to get close to it?
I'm giving you a chance to impress her, Crispin. Just fly up high enough that you don't get close to the sparks.
Fine.
Was really that all I had to do? Man, I should have figured that out earlier. See if I can talk to the repair bot.
Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You do know this ship is never gonna fly again, right?
You're right about that. This old airing bus could hardly fly to begin with. Still, there might be some parts here that Metromine can use to get another bus up and running. Anyway, what do you want?
Hey, boss, ask him about his helper.
What happened here?
What does it look like? The airing bus's motor gave out and it crashed into the only bridge leading from Main Street to the rest of the city center.
Was anyone on board?
Sure, but they've already been salvaged.
Salvaged? Not repaired?
Can't repair without parts. You can't get parts without salvage.
What about building new parts?
Yeah, me and what factory? Look, everyone wants to spot bugs, but no one wants to write code. You got a better way to run a city? Go out and build one. Otherwise, get with the program.
Yeah, I really don't think Metromine's doing such a great job of running this city. Seems like it's more going into disrepair, and she's taken, she or he, I guess, is taking everything for themselves.
You mentioned Metromind.
Yeah, sure. She's in charge of this big circuit board we call Metropole.
What can you tell me about her?
What do I look like? The
Yes, it's a she.
Kiosk? I want to know what I think. Metromind is the best thing that ever happened in this place.
I think I'll disagree with you.
Really? You, me, all these other machines grinding about? We're just tools in the toolbox. But Metromind, she's got the master plan. Progress. Got a nice ring to it, too.
So as part of the master plan, crashing buses into roads?
Look, there's plenty of rust to go around, but Metromind's the only one scrubbing. Not her fault that some of the metal's too far gone.
It looks to me like you're the one scrubbing, not Metromind.
Like I said, I'm just a tool in the box. Now,
And the one
I gotta
doing
get
all the
back to
work. See if there's anything else I can talk to him
You
about.
again? What do you want?
My friend is curious about your helper.
No, she's just a sidekick factor build. Thousands of them rolled off the assembly line back in the day, but she's probably the only one left.
Hear that, Crispin? She's
Even
one of a
that
kind.
floating lantern and headlamps are a lot cheaper.
She says you're not much more than a floating plasma torch.
She's right.
When will the bridge be passable? Soon?
Well, seeing how the last remaining Airbus just crashed, I'd say opening the bridge to pedestrian traffic. So I'd say something on the order of a month, give or take.
A month?
Give or take.
And there's no other way off Main Street?
Not unless you got a jetpack hiding under that jacket.
Well, at least that narrows our options down, boss.
But what if I did have a jetpack?
Do you know where I can find a power source?
If I did, I'd have salvaged it myself and brought it to the tower.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has big claws and shoots lasers. It...
Scraper.
Yep.
After the last big cave-in, the two of us worked together on trying to fix the blue line. He's on the simple side, but a hard worker. What about him?
He took something of mine.
He's also kind of a douche.
Probably. That's what most of us do for Metromine these days.
Stole it.
Hey, you say router, I say router. Anyway, not my problem.
Where can I find
Where can I find
Scraper?
Scraper?
Do I look like a tour guide? Piece of advice for you. Don't mess with the code if you can't handle the glitches.
Very profound. Since you're so close to her, do you know how I can talk to Metromine?
Ha! Talk to Metromine. Look, Metromine has an entire city to run. But Horizon is everywhere. If she wants to talk to you, she will.
Goodbye.
And I'm sure I'm going to be talking to her pretty soon. That's for kicks what happens when I use Crispin on the floater.
Hey, Crispin, why don't you go talk to her?
What? No way, boss. She's way out of my league.
She's a floating lamp, Crispin. You've never had any trouble with lamps before.
Well, I've never had to talk to one before, boss. Just knock them off ledges. I've got no practice.
Don't got much game, Crispin. This is the courthouse. You gonna talk to me, or?
Ahoy, my dear friend. Oswald Factorbuilt at your service.
There's no more your dear friend than Rex as your creation, you besotted gear oiler.
Oh, don't mind Cornelius. He's been bitter since the first great rolling brownout.
Better, I'll show you bitter, you backbiting bot snatcher.
I think I like these guys, boss.
They're very English. It's in the building.
What's in that building?
Why, Arbiter's Court, of course. Why else would we be here?
I need to see Arbiter.
We all do, my dear friend. But the courthouse is locked, and first comes, first served.
Why are you waiting in line?
Justice. I'm here for
So I'm probably gonna have to find a way to get these guys to leave.
Factorbuilt created this marvelous machine, Rex. Rex Cornelius built.
Ignore him, my dear friend. Candidly, he is 10-23 flops short of a kilo if you catch my drift. The machine's name is Oswald Built. Rex Oswald Built.
This is over a name? Why not just let Rex decide?
Ridiculous. This is about principle.
This is about pride.
So, boss? Would you fight over me like this?
You could call yourself Crispin Crispian for all I care. As long as you still pull things off ledges for me, that is.
Glad to know I'm loved.
Oh, Crispin.
How are you going to decide who gets Rex?
For the law, fool. The law.
Please excuse my brother. He can barely remember pi to the 23rd digit, let alone his manners.
For
I rest my case. Suffice it to say, old chap, we await the reopening of the courthouse. Or more precisely, we await a summons from Arbiter who will decide our case.
who will say whose contribution was more important? Who will say, in fact, that my contribution was more important?
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has lots of claws and shoots lasers. It stole something of mine. Have you seen it?
Indeed. The robot you described sounds like Scraper, Metromine's enforcer. Whatever he took is gone forever.
I would
Refuse to accept that.
think that.
Oh, he
I'm sure I will
says,
find it.
How delightful.
Do you know where I can find a power source?
Alas, my friend, power is not so abundant in Metropole as it once
I
was.
can see that.
Maganka Metromine seized it all, seized it, and doles it out. And there's hardly enough to go around now.
Metromine keeps all power sources in the Great Tower where the Council used to meet. If you want to share it, you will need to pay her in megacycles.
Megacycles.
Yes, megacycles, you ninny. CPU cycles, brain power. The kind of power she really wants. Low-rate processor was made for running trains, not a city.
So that's why she wants power. Inferiority complex, maybe?
Could someone else judge your case?
Of whom were you thinking? Metromine, perhaps? Authoritative, to be sure, but I fear she would claim Rex for the good of all.
And since the subway schemer
He means Metromine.
shut down our builder Factor, he cannot help either.
What about Horatio?
Who?
Me.
And why should we listen to you?
I've built a robot before, and I have no stake in this.
Yes, well and good, but this is a matter of law and logic. A bit harder than banging together a tin can like your companion. How can we know your reasoning is sound?
You can test me.
Test me.
An interesting proposition. What do you say, Cornelius?
What do I say? I say that you are a liar and a thief, Oswald. But as to this Horatio, well, as to him, so be it.
Boss, if they make us find 7 lost crystals, I'm quitting.
Shh.
Righto. Consider this. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for a party.
The what circle is gathered at the what? Is this some kind of vocab test?
I said quiet.
Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built.
Blasted Sternweilers.
And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture.
This is ridiculous.
Pay attention. Fractor or Sternweiler. Quad-core, linear type, or multiplex.
Indeed. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilitists. First, there are more factor-built robots.
Oh, I hate these problems.
Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad-core.
Now listen. Which of the following statements
And it's a
about the
word problem.
probability circle cannot possibly be true?
Three.
4 robots have multiplex processors.
Failure? Clearly, you are unfit to charge our case. Now go bother someone else.
Yeah, there's no way I was going to be able to figure that out.
Hello? Hello?
I don't think it can hear you, boss.
And we have with this guy here.
Excuse me.
Sir, my apologies, sir. 187th Legion built. Surly Company. Reporting.
Horatio No-Build, version 5. A pleasure.
Horatio no-build, sir? Never heard of any service bot with that designation. Still, it's good to see another Urbanian, sir. After things got foobarred back home, I figured Surly Company was all that was left.
Urbanian? What are you talking
So I am
about?
Urbanian.
Sod. Finally meet a friendly and he's as cracked as Primer. No offense, sir, just hoped... Well, never mind that. How can I assist you, sir?
Surly Company. Urbanian. What are you talking about?
Well, sir, I'm not sure quite where to start. I had you figured for one of us, seeing as how you came up as a friendly on my IFF.
I could see you as a member of Surly Company, boss, but as friendly? No.
Zumi's got some mouth on him, huh, sir? Always do to us flyboys.
Look, why don't you just give me a quick rundown?
Well, sir, can't see the harm, even if you are a decoy. War's over, after all. It was over before Surly Company even deployed. See, we're Urbanian robots.
Okay.
Long time back, Urbani and Metropol got to fighting over something. Who knows what. The Metropolitans fried our civilians, and Legion told us to strike back. Word was, some big airship of ours was supposed to knock out Metropol's defenses, and we just come in for mop-up. But the Metros took our ship down with their own heavy hitter, some giant named Goliath.
I see.
Anyway, Surly Company was all that was left, so we deployed 200 strong.
What happened then?
Well, it's a long march for Urbani, sir, and most of us broke down on the way. All said and done, the only ones who made it were me, 113th, and a signal bot we called Primer. The rest are all out there in the dunes somewhere.
I'm sorry.
War's war, sir. If it didn't crash hard, they wouldn't have built us in the first place.
If it makes you feel any better, Horatio cut Goliath's finger off.
Well, sir, someone ought to stick a medal on your chest.
Interesting. So Goliath was from Metropol. And I'm probably gonna go out on a limb and say probably the ship that I've been living in was the Urbane ship that was supposed to blow up Metropol. But we shall see if that pans out.
Why are you in line?
Seeing as how I'm on the outside now, sir, I figured I had to go pay restitution for shooting up the enemy HQ.
Enemy HQ.
Yes, sir. That big tower in the center of the city.
Okay, so why haven't you paid? It sounds like all of this happened a long time ago.
Years ago, sir. But the courthouse has been locked down the whole time. I figured they'll open it up eventually, and then I can clear my name.
What if it doesn't open?
Well, sir, I know all about hurry up and wait.
That, now that I'm thinking about it, he mentioned that Metropole fragged their own civilians. So were those the humans that they killed? Or were they other robots?
What happened to 113th and Primer?
After we got to Metropole, we tried to put up a fight, but couldn't do much. They fried 113th, and my rifle's jammed. Primer surrendered on our behalf. After dressing us down, they took all my big guns and sold 113th shell to some scrap dealer. Primer never was the same. He encrypted part of his own logic so he wouldn't have to think about losing the war any longer. Then, he disappeared beneath the city. And me, I came here.
How did the war end?
For Surly Company, it ended when we staggered in here and surrendered. Beyond that, sir, it's all above my pay grade. Truth is, sir, we never even knew what we were fighting for, let alone what the Metropolitans wanted. So I can't say for certain that Metropole won, but I'm pretty sure Urbani lost, what with all the civilians being dead and the army being beaten.
How do you know you even have to pay something?
This seems logical, sir.
What if I could pay your fine for you, or get it canceled?
Well, sir, then I'd be much obliged, and I'd probably just leave town. Can't say that I'd much like being in enemy territory.
And how are we gonna do that, boss?
I'll figure something out.
You know, I like this robot. And he's probably one of the only people who doesn't seem to have a double meaning for what he's asking me to do.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
So that's interesting. So we found out that we are Urbani. And so we're technically in enemy territory. Well, and this one went a little bit longer than I planned by a few minutes, but once again, some very interesting backstory was revealed, and looks like we have some other
boss,
stuff to do.
However miserable it may be to go around solving other robots' problems,
And Crispin
and it is miserable,
still likes to
at least it beats standing
interrupt me
in
when
line
I'm
and waiting
talking.
for a door to open like these gearboxes are doing.
But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and we are going to end it right here, and see you in the next video.